Everyone. I'm so excited that you jumped on my social media or maybe Kim's social media and you're seeing this. I'm Jewel Tankard, and I tell you what, when I tell you I am completely thrilled, honored to have an opportunity to have met such an amazing woman and Kim Kiyosaki. And if you don't know who she is, shame on you. You need to know who she is. This woman really is blazing trails in a lot of ways, and I've actually followed her for many years on YouTube and read her books. It's Rising Time and Rich Woman. I mean, she's doing really some amazing things. And honestly, her story and her interviews really helped to give me a lot of the courage that I needed to go out and do big business and then also to do real estate. And one of the things that I really admire about Kim is that she's like powerhouse woman, but she's still super sweet, very humble, very grounded, and still has a great marriage. Come on, yes, come through. Because I think sometimes women get afraid of success because they're like, oh, well, am I still going to be able to have a great marriage? And I think Kim really exemplifies all of those components that most women really want in their lives. So, Kim, I'm so excited to have you on, girl.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Jewel. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited about our TV coming up.
Yes, exactly. And so we wanted to do this little teaser because Kim Kiyosaki is going to be in Detroit, Michigan on this coming Friday, which is August the 6th at 9 a.m. We'll be taping live at Great Faith Ministries, and you'll see more information at the bottom. Just click on the link. You can actually come, free tickets, which is pretty amazing because Kim makes tons of money to speak. So to be able to see her live is really remarkable. So Kim, will you just tell us a little bit about like how you got started? Like, where did this whole thing how did you morph into this like powerhouse of a woman? Because I know you didn't start there.
Oh, I did not start there. No. You know what kickstarted me into entrepreneurship is I was fired. Not once, I was fired twice from my first job out of college. And it after I blamed everybody, I realized actually it was the best thing that could have happened to me because I always knew I wanted my own business, but I wasn't around entrepreneurs. I didn't know how to get started. And I met Robert not long after, and he said on our very first date, he said, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want my own business. And he said, well, I started a few and all of my friends are entrepreneurs. And I said, well, this is where I need to be right now. So a few months later, I had my first business, designed a logo and embroidered it on shirts and jackets and sweaters. And from there, we went on and continued to build many businesses. We have several businesses today. And for those of you who do not know me, our best known business now is the Rich Dad Company, known for the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And we got into that business because we say that every business must have a purpose. There must be a purpose for your business, and every business must solve a problem. So the problem we saw, Jewel, was that there was no financial education being taught in school. And we were not going to go head to head with the school system and try and get it in there and ram it down their throat because nobody wanted it. Yeah. So we set out the mission of our company is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. And we did it outside of the school system through board games, books, seminars, things like that. And it still to this day, that is our mission.
Wow, that's huge. So in the wonderful world of investing and business, even with me being an investor and an entrepreneur, it kind of surprises me that and of course there's like this whole emergence of women, right? Coming into their power and coming into their purpose. But when you kind of get on the ground, I still don't see as many as women moving as boldly and confidently where investing is concerned. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and Jewel, we were talking, you and I had the same strategy because I always say in any investment, there's 4 asset classes. There's business, real estate, paper, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and commodities, gold, silver, oil, gas, soybeans. In any asset class, whatever you're going to do, start small. And I started with a little tiny 2-bedroom, 1-bath house in Portland, Oregon in 1989. And the same formula I took to the next property, just like you did the next property, then finally graduated to 6 units, then 12 units. I think today I have about 7,000 apartment units, 4 golf courses, 2 resorts, but starting small, same formula, not
Yeah.
rocket science.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. And your point to women is, I think the problem for so many of us women is not only have we not been educated about money, as most people have not,
Yeah.
but we've actually been taught to depend upon somebody else for our financial well-being, right? A
Yeah.
husband, family member, even the government. So it really is a mindset change, because I really don't think a woman can be free until she's also financially free. Because
Yeah.
money's got the power to set you free, and it also has the power to enslave you. And too many women are enslaved in horrible marriages, jobs they hate, all for that money. So the more that you and I can empower women for women to take control of their own financial lives, I think the better off everybody will be.
Yeah, and I love this because I think I heard you talk about this somewhere. Like most women, when they're growing up, their mom calls it, or maybe puts them in ballet, or maybe puts them in music, and those are not bad things, but they don't really cultivate. Like it's like domestic. It's like,
Yes.
oh, we're gonna take a cooking class, or we're gonna
Yes.
take a sewing class. So there's no real space for a woman to like cultivate her intellect and begin to think outside of maybe domestic responsibilities. Because I hear a lot of women say, well, I have a family to take care of, so I can't do it. And I'm thinking, but that's why you need to do it. So
yes, that's
can
exactly
you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just in India, and they have a very, very progressive school that I had a chance to go and visit. And these kids were bright, sharp, on top of it, great questions. And I asked them what they do different. And one of the things that they do, boys and girls, they always ask them, what are you interested in? And they never judge it. They don't direct them one way or another. What are you interested in? The woman I talked to, she was now 17. She loved science. She wanted to be an astronaut. She has these big visions. So yeah, when you look at how little girls are raised, they're still Cinderella and Prince Charming. There's no such thing as a Prince Charming. And you're gonna, marry I'll tell you the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is marry a rich guy. I mean, people think I married Robert because he had money. Robert was like $750,000 in debt from old businesses. So no, he had not money. But you think that's the easy way out, right? And then you marry this rich guy, and the next thing you know, you've basically sold your soul for that money. And
So do you feel like, because once they marry a rich guy, then all of their intellect, their creativity, all of that kind of dies, because it's like, oh, he's got me, he's taking care of me. So is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because all of a sudden, he who has the money has the control. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, this is my money, so you're going to kind of do what I say. I think it's the worst thing a woman can do is to marry a rich guy. Listen, they know. I mean, they know. Even today, is he a good provider? Why don't they ask, are you a good provider? Is she a good provider? Right? The world has changed so dramatically. That, I have young nieces now. They're 30. One is just hugely successful in business. She just loves it. But it really is a matter of changing that mindset and just letting them do what they want, really.
Yeah, so that they can discover and create. And I don't know what your thought is on this. I'm not for, I want women to be independently wealthy, but I'm not taking care of a man either. So you're going to have to do your part.
Yeah. And you know what? And to that point, I think for men too, if the woman is not financially savvy, and he's taking control of all the money and he's doing the investing, I would think by her getting interested and wanting to know what they have and where it is, and maybe get more interested in the investing aspect, I would think that would be a huge relief to the guy.
Yeah, you would think.
Take some of that weight off of my shoulder, because it's a pretty hefty responsibility to have to care for your spouse and your kids and all that. So to me, if you're married, it's just something you do together. You grow together, you learn together.
You should do that, because you don't want it to be like he married another child. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Children, but really he married another child, because if anything was to happen to him from a financial standpoint, you're completely lost because you only wanted to take care of the children and maybe take care of the house, but never even ask the question. And I think that's the thing that bothers me when I see women. I'm like, hey, do you know how much life insurance you have? How much life insurance does he have? And they're like clueless. Oh, I don't worry about that.
Oh, my eyes glaze over. Oh, that makes it so boring. Give you a good statistic, Jewel. In America, of the elderly living in poverty, 3 out of 4 are women.
Mm.
But 80% of those women living in poverty were not poor when their husband was alive. So just as you're saying, he passes away, she has no idea what she's got or where it is, and then Mr. and Mrs. Financial Helper come along, and the next thing you know, she's broke. So and I see it all the time when there's an unexpected death or a divorce. Oftentimes the woman ends up in a financial crisis.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that's where I was, my start. I went from my dad taking care of me to, then when he lost everything and went through this whole traumatic thing, then I started dating drug dealers. And really in my mind, it was a financial plan. And then after that went crazy, I was like, girl, why can't you take care of yourself? Why does it always have to be a man coming in to swoop down and save you? And that's when I really got passionate about educating myself, right? That's the biggest thing. And that's why I want people that are watching this right now, I want you to come out Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning in Detroit. Even if you have to drive there, I think it's going to be worth it. When you have the opportunity to sit with a billionaireess, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that. Seriously, like, she's a powerhouse. And what I love about Kim is she's very open to share strategies. She's very open to share ideas. Like, she's not closed. Sometimes when people get successful, they get like real, like, oh, I'm not telling you this, I'm not telling you that. Like, talking to Kim, like, she's an open book. She wants everyone to really win. And so I really want you all to come out Friday. You just got to register. The tickets are free. Bring your husbands, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring them. I want them to see that, like you said, hopefully, unless he's got some insecurity, he should want you to level up because it's going to take a load off of him.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Sometimes they are insecure. Sometimes the men feel threatened if you're questioning what they're doing. So sometimes you're walking on eggshells. But I'm going to tell you this: when you started educating yourself, Jewel, isn't there a greater sense of freedom, greater sense of independence, not having to justify why you're buying what you're buying? I mean,
girl, when I tell you, I love it, and my husband loves it. He's so proud of me. He tells me all the time. He's like, you're doing great. I'm so proud of you. And, we encourage one another. We have different risk tolerance, right?
Yeah.
We have different things that we are drawn to where investing is concerned. And I love that he's maintained his individuality. I've maintained my individuality, but we're still an amazing couple together. And that's what I ultimately want women to see. Whether you're single, married, or divorced, you need to get educated. And there's no better way. Watching YouTube is great because I've seen on all your YouTube videos, Kim, girl. Read your books, but there's nothing like being able to sit there and have a conversation. So guys, we're not going to spoil, but she's going to be sharing some more tea on wealth building. So you want to make sure that you get out there. What would be one last thing that you would say to a person that wants more out of life where the work ethic is concerned? How important is it, the work ethic, like what it takes? And
yeah, it's, that's funny you say that because I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, just do what you love and the money will follow. Well, they're missing a step. Do what you love, work your what off, and then the money will follow. Yes. So everything that we're going to be talking about is very simple. Like when we talk about real estate investing or any type of investing, the concepts are simple, but it's not necessarily easy. And it's not that it's complicated. It's just, it takes drive, it takes initiative, it takes persistence. It's why we say, you have to find a really strong reason why you're going to go towards financial independence and financial freedom, because you're going to hit walls, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to lose money, you're going to make money. So that reason why, for me, it was always freedom. I wanted the freedom to live the life I wanted and to follow the path I wanted. And that always kept me going. Even when I hit those setbacks and I hit those obstacles, it kept me going.
That is so good, girl. And I've got some more really good questions for you on Friday. So we want you all
I
to
can't wait.
I know, I can't wait, right? It's so good. So make sure this Friday, Detroit, 9 a.m. Click the link on the bottom so you can get your tickets. And I just want to say, Kim, thank you so much for taking your time to do this. Kim literally like hops countries like I hop cities. So the fact that you took the time to do this, I really appreciate it. I really
For you,
appreciate your
Jewel, of course, for you. You're doing
thank
great work out there, and you're empowering so many people, men and
you.
women. So
Yeah,
I applaud you.
thank you, girl. All right, I love you, and we'll see you guys there on Friday, 9 a.m.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. See you then.